Hey guys, so I was super down for summer to go until the end of September and for fall to start on October 1st, but it's September 15th and it's fall this weekend. So we're just gonna go in and start talking about fall books and movies. I'm gonna give some fall book recommendations and then also share my fall TBR. So I love thrillers, I love Halloween, I love spooky, creepy movies, TV shows, and books. So I've read a lot of thrillers, but I'm only giving a couple recommendations because I only recommend things that I really like and want people to read, because I've read a lot of thrillers that are mid, that aren't anything special, and these are like my really special ones. So the first one I'm going to recommend is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I read this at the beginning of the year and I wish I read it in October because it takes place on Halloween. Like the very first day that it takes place is on Halloween, and the mom is literally carving a pumpkin inside and she looks outside and sees her son stab someone, and then he gets arrested and she's so confused, and he's like a normal son. She doesn't understand why he would do that, and she goes to sleep and then wakes up and it's the day before, and she's so confused because she's like, wait, tomorrow's Halloween? We just did Halloween and he stabbed someone. Like, what are you talking about? And every night she goes to bed, she wakes up and she's gone back in time. So sometimes it's like the day before, sometimes it's like months before. So it's not a Groundhog Day trope, it's a time travel trope, and I love magical realism, so I really liked it. And basically she's trying to understand, like, one, why her son stabbed that person, and two, why she's time traveling. And she's trying to figure out how to end the time traveling, and she's thinking that, like, if she figures out why her son killed that person, then the time traveling will stop. It was an easy read. It's a page turner. If you want to see me react in real time, I did a reading 3 thrillers vlog and I read this in that. But yeah, if you want a good thriller, I really liked it. And then the second one I'm going to recommend is The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I love him. I've read a bunch of his books, but this one's by far my favorite. The main character is Kit, who is a caregiver, and we find out that she's been on leave for a couple months, but we don't know why. And her company is reluctant to give her another job because apparently she screwed up really badly in her last job, but a job comes to be that no one else wants, so he hires her for it. And it is to be the caregiver for this woman named Lenora Hope, who is kind of a town legend because she allegedly killed her whole family, but there was never enough evidence for her to be convicted, so that's why she's not in jail. And she lives on a mansion like really far up outside of town, and everyone is scared of her. So the story basically is Kit working at the house, and while she's working there, she tries to figure out what actually happened and if Lenora actually killed her whole family. But it's a really spooky setting. There's a bunch of plot twists. It's really entertaining. The writing's really good. I just love his writing. And I also read that one in the thrillers blog. And the last one that I'm going to recommend is really popular, but I feel like it has really mixed reviews. So it is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. And I think this has mixed reviews because media has changed so much. This book was published in 1992 and it took her 8 years to write, and you can tell it is so dense. But it's a completely different pace than the previous 2 books that I mentioned, because now I feel like with TV, books, and movies, like, our attention span has gotten so short that everything needs to be super plot heavy and go really quickly. And this book kind of reminds me of like 90s movies and 80s movies where everything is just slower paced. So I would say that this book is more like of a novel than like the other 2 that I mentioned. Like, it's not an easy page turner thriller that you would buy at an airport. It's like, it's dense, but it's really good. So it's about this group of students who are part of this really prestigious Greek studies program at a university. And at the beginning of the book, you find out that one of the students named Bunny has been murdered. So then as you're reading the book, you're unraveling why and how he died, and basically seeing how each of the students are reacting to the murder. And it is really affecting all of them mentally. They pretty much all descend into madness. It's like a perfect dark academia book for the fall and winter. The setting is beautiful. She had to do so much research on Greek mythology to incorporate it all in the book, which I thought was so impressive. But it's just one of my favorite books of all time because of like the psychological character arc of the main character. And that's all I'm gonna recommend, but this is my TBR for the fall. So right now I'm reading Misery by Stephen King, which is my second Stephen King book, and I actually started doing a reading Stephen King for the first time reading vlog, but I just haven't gotten as much footage as I wanted to. So I don't know if I'm going to post it or not because I don't think it's very good, but I'm going to try. But anyway, it's about this author who wakes up, and the beginning of the book was really cool because he's kind of fading in and out of consciousness. So that was a cool perspective to read from. So he wakes up at a stranger's house, and you find out that he was in a car accident and was unconscious, and this woman who apparently is his #1 fan finds him and takes him back to her house, but his legs are broken from the car crash, so he can't leave, and she holds him captive until he writes a new book. So I'm almost halfway through it, so I don't really have a review yet, but so far it's really good. I've also heard amazing things about it. Then I want to read like a couple dark academia books, maybe do a video on that as well, and I've been wanting to read this book for so long. It's Bunny by Mona Awad. I've never read a Mona Awad book, but I'm really intrigued. I feel like I would like her writing. Apparently, it's also a dark academia book set at a university with a group of culty students, so I'm like, if I like the secret history, I think I would love this. But it's all women, and they all call each other Bunny, and I think it's like a weird sex cult. I don't know, though. But basically, I think it's from the perspective of a new girl who gets like introduced to it, and I've just heard that everyone is super confused after reading it, and I love movies that leave you confused, so I think I would like this book. Then I want to read If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and this is also set at a college. It says that the main character has just served 10 years in jail for a murder he may or may not have committed, and then he's released from jail and is studying Shakespeare at an elite art college, and I think that that group of students are doing a Shakespeare play, and then there's a murder. So it kind of seems like a dark academia murder mystery, which sounds right up my alley. Then I want to read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. So I believe in this book that there was a murder at the college that had been unsolved, and then there's a 10-year college reunion, and they're forced to solve the murder and basically face what happened. I'll read a little excerpt from the Goodreads description. Not everyone left Duquette 10 years ago, and not everyone can let Heather's murder go unsolved. Someone is determined to trap the real killer to make the guilty pay. When the 6 friends are reunited, they will be forced to confront what happened that night and years worth of secrets each of them would do anything to keep hidden. I love murder mysteries, so super stoked to read this one. But I am in a huge reading slump. I wanted to do a summer reading wrap up, and I literally can't because I haven't read enough books. It's taken me so long to read Misery. Like, my hold just expired at the library, so I don't know if I need to buy it or something, but I didn't finish it by the time it was due back at the library, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I think I need to read a really easy page turner to get back into it. And I still haven't read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I think that's the perfect thing to read because it's YA, so I think I'll read it really quickly, and a lot of people really like it. And this is about a girl named Pip who researches a murder that had happened in her town 5 years prior for her school project. And I've just heard that this book is really funny and a lot of people really like it, and it's a series, so I think that that's perfect for me. And the final book that I want to read is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and my mom recommended this. She said it's really good and she reads a lot of thrillers, so I trust her. Again, it's a murder mystery, my favorite, and it's a series, so I might do a vlog on that as well. But anyway, I'm definitely not gonna read all of these books in the fall because at this rate I'm not even gonna meet my reading goal for the year. But anyway, let's go into the movies that I love to watch every fall. So these are not movies you haven't seen. These are all very popular movies, but I just thought that I'd share so that you can get to know me better. Obviously, the Harry Potter series, every single fall into Christmas, that's just the best series to binge ever. I feel like everyone does that, but it's for a good reason. It's so comforting, especially if you like bake cookies and then watch a movie. I'm so excited. Then Silver Linings Playbook. So I think this is like a fall movie because it happens during football season, and it's so good. The performances in it are amazing. I'm obsessed with anything Jennifer Lawrence does. Then I love the movie It. I've seen it so many times. I think it's genuinely so funny. Like, Finn Wolfhard is so funny in it. That's kind of what got me into horror movies. Like, I didn't really watch any before, and for some reason I wanted to see it. I think because I knew I liked Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, and I saw it in the theater in college, and I was so scared. I didn't sleep for like a week, but I've seen it so many times now that it doesn't scare me anymore. It's like funny, but the writing is really funny. I love the cinematography. It's just so good. And then I also love Donnie Darko. I think this also happens on Halloween. I'm obsessed with Jake Gyllenhaal. He's one of my favorite actors. It's definitely just like a really weird and confusing movie. And then for rom-coms, When Harry Met Sally is so good. There's just an amazing shot of them walking through Central Park and the fall leaves are amazing. So it's just like the perfect movie to watch in the fall. I also love Coraline. I don't even know why. I just grew up watching it. It's so creepy and weird. Like, I watched it last year with a bunch of my friends on Halloween and they hated it because they were like, this is so creepy. But when people make movies like that, it just fascinates me. Like when they go to the neighbor's house and there's that like weird mice circus part. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're just like, what? Like, who was behind this and why? But it's just so like classic Halloween for me. And then I actually watched this earlier this year, Lisa Frankenstein. I loved it. It's so campy and like over the top and ridiculous that it was good. I feel like not a lot of people saw this movie, but if you like 80s campy horror, then this is like the perfect movie. It was really entertaining and like kind of funny, and I just think more people should watch it because I really liked it. That might be an unpopular opinion. I don't know if people liked it, but I did. And then my watch list for this fall, there's so many movies I want to watch, but I just put like more thriller, like scary movies. So newer ones, Longlegs, Blink Twice, and Cuckoo. I love Hunter Schafer, so I really want to see that. And then I want to see Death Becomes Her because I just saw the Taste music video and apparently it was based off of it and I've never seen it. So I think it's time now to watch it to understand all of the references. I also want to see the new Alien movie because I really liked the old Alien movies. I want to see Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. I've heard it's amazing. I've like seen a bunch of interviews of her talking about it, how it was one of the most traumatic scenes she's ever filmed. She broke a rib while filming it because she was having a panic attack. I didn't know that's not a good thing, but just because I've heard so many things about this movie, and just everything she does turns into gold. So I need to watch that. And then I also heard Bodies, Bodies, Bodies was good. That is an A24 movie, and I don't know how I feel about A24 yet. Like, I always think that I really like it, and there's a lot of movies that I really like, but then I also have seen other movies that I'm like, that's not my cup of tea. But I think for the most part, it's like, I like their movies, so want to see that. And then I haven't seen The Shining yet, so I feel like I have to because it's such a classic. But anyway, that's all the media that I am recommending for you to watch or read this fall, and everything that I plan to watch and read this fall. Let me know if you've read or watched anything that I've mentioned and if you liked it or not. Also, please give me any more recommendations that I didn't mention. I'm gonna try to do more like fall/Halloween themed decorating videos, reading vlogs. I'll do one decorating my vinyl corner for the fall and like fall albums that I like to listen to. But subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and please like it if you liked it. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye!